You know, going the JC route out of high school, it was tough because I thought I was a lot better than you know, the schools that were recruiting me, it was because of I didn't get the same exposure that other, you know, athletes got. And for me, it was the best decision that I could possibly make because, again, I didn't want, there was only a few schools that were recruiting me out of high school, and a majority of them were D2. One was up in another state that was close that I really didn't want to go to. So I knew one D1 school was close, but I knew I didn't want to go there. And so I knew the only way that I could do that is get to a Division I. And seeing, I think, one of my teammates, you know, go to a Division I school right out of high school, I knew that I could get there. I just knew that I had to take a different route. So I had to kind of swallow my pride. And, you know, going to the junior college, it was the best decision that I made because I didn't have the basic fundamentals coming out of high school. I didn't know how to pivot. There's just those fundamentals that I didn't know. I was just a hardcore basketball player. I was a street ball player, wasn't very polished. And, you know, I just realized that my end of the day goal was to be D1. And if I had to take this route, I had to take this route. And it was the best decision that I made because, you know, my sophomore year, I ended up being a junior college All-American, and I got so many more opportunities from that JC. Now, the transition was a little bit different, you know, going from a JC to a 4-year because, you know, you're coming into an established program that already has, you know, players that were freshmen and sophomores there. So it was a little bit behind the 8 ball, but it was just the best decision because I felt like I grew as a player. And I didn't see it as a deficit. I saw it as, you know, this is just a spoke on my journey. And it just made me a better player, a better student. And, you know, I had just forged some, you know, really lifelong friendships that, you know, and I went to a smaller town. So going from, you know, big city Denver to this town of 20,000 people, it was a culture shock. But, you know, again, I had the athletes, the other, you know, the track team, the men's basketball team, they were there in support in this little small town, and it didn't feel so small because you had that, you know, those friendships and people in the town that just were looking to you as this, you know, star or whatever. But it was, again, it was the best decision that I make. And so for those people who, you know, are contemplating going JC and think they have to go D1, you know, I would encourage young people to just take a look at the JC route. It's not necessarily a bad decision, and you know, you're a big fish in a small pond, and you know, it just made the transition to a 4-year for me a lot easier. Mm-hmm.